Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cooking with Dan Luzzy. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. I'll be your host this evening. I'm standing in Dan's kitchen with Dan and a golf club.
We got action today. As soon as we're done taping this thing, I'm heading east. Strawberries are happening right now.
Yeah.
We did this on a show some time ago, and I just wanted to, you know, sometimes the strawberries look gorgeous and they aren't exactly sugar sweet and stuff. You don't want to feel like you're taking syrup out of a bottle or something like that. You don't want it overly sweetened. Many times you get them frozen also. They're just totally mushed out. You know, they're not bad, but, you know, even the fresh frozen, you know, they're tough to work with. You're better off just making a sauce with them. But what I was hoping to do today is to poach these, to try to make a syrup, not too sweet, a little sugar with some water. We're going to probably tighten it a little bit, and just break these down halfway so that if you're eating them over some cake or ice cream or with some whipped cream or all of the above, you have the syrup and you still feel like you're eating a fresh strawberry.
Right.
So that's easier said than done, because you've got to watch how you're cooking it. You'll lose these things in about 5 seconds. So why don't I get these strawberries going? They take a little longer. And what I'm going to do is put some water in a pan with some sugar, and we're going to dissolve the sugar. It's a lot of water. This is only a half-an-hour show, you know. So we are going to reduce this. Let's see if we have one of these burners going. No, as usual, we got to give it the old magic light. And I try to just stay on the short side in the sugar department. You know, generally, unless the strawberries are total bricks, you know, there is going to be some sugar to them. And you know, you got to be very careful. You know, you can put, if you're putting some whipped cream or ice cream or cake, a lot of these things are sweet anyway. So if you're, why miss the strawberries on the sugar side? You might as well miss them on the short side in the sugar. So we don't have an exact recipe for that, but miss it on the short side, I think, is a good way to look at it.
You know what's great with this recipe too, Dan? We tried your recipe.
Oh, yeah?
Because everybody's on a diet now. We're getting geared up, you know, for that summer weather.
That's right.
And right on top of angel food cake, it's fabulous.
Oh, I bet. I'll bet. And then you topped it with the caramel sauce and the whipped cream, or did you lay off of that, or what?
No, we were good.
You were good, huh?
We were good.
Sounds good. All right, I just crushed a couple berries up there. I want to get that color flowing a little bit. So we're just going to get this sugar dissolved, and we'll work it from there. On to step 2, huh?
Okay.
What do you think? I'm afraid to do the shrimp thing. All right, we'll give it a shot. We'll try this.
We're going to get right into this.
We're going to get right in there and get it going. I'll move these over, I guess. I'll take this little pan over here. Now, you know, I've got to worry about how hot. I think the garlic's going to take a little longer to brown than the mushrooms, and the mushrooms are going to take a hair longer to cook than the shrimp.
Right.
So we'll have to work this out.
Okay.
So I'll take these leaves, place them over here for later. You have to watch how, also how hot the oil is too. You know, it can cinderize the garlic. You know, it's just, we're just going to have some fun here. Hopefully I'm not going to butcher it right on camera, so we'll find out. Uh-oh, you gearing up?
Almost forgot my apron.
Got Granny's apron on, I'll tell you. As soon as she hears me experimenting, says, uh-oh, watch out. Things could be flying. Yeah, I'm psyched to play today. Then again, I'm psyched to play every day.
That's right. Oh, how's your son doing, by the way?
He's doing real well. He's playing real well. He's not real well, but he likes it, and he's playing a little baseball right now. Maybe in the summer he'll get out there a little more. Got to work on that chipping and putting. They don't want to practice that chipping and putting.
Oh.
Man, I'm telling you.
That's the basic stuff.
I'm telling you, I have a few friends of mine that they can hit the ball really well. Really incredibly well. They get up around, I won't mention any names on that, but once it gets to, they get up around the green, they've got hands of stone. Manos de piedra. I'm going to slice these, I think. We may have to cut them again, you know what I mean? We want them similarly sized. I took these shrimp, I sliced them in half, and then cut them in half again. So there's 2 shrimp here, 3 shrimp actually, and I guess we have a dozen pieces. So we want to get them similarly sized. I guess we're going to probably have to cut these mushrooms down a little bit.
There you go.
Let's see how, I think the mushrooms are dominating the shrimp. Well, we're not going to worry about it. The main thing I'm concerned about is the timing of the cooking here, you know?
Well, you know, they're going to shrink up a little bit too, you know, the mushrooms.
Well, it'd be nice if I put some oil on the pan.
There you go.
Some nice virgin olive oil. I'm going to put, you know, we can always add this a little more at the end, so I'm going to try to keep this on the short side. You think I have enough garlic for one appetizer?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But you know we like a lot of garlic.
I know, but I think that's a smidge more than we need.
Do you think so?
He's too busy chirping over there to think about what the heck I'm doing. You see how that color is coming out of the...
I was just noticing that, the strawberries.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been hitting it all, or you
Not
guys
at
been
all.
no?
Not at all.
Well,
Not
you know,
yet.
it's just getting to be that season.
Thinking about getting out there.
Right.
Thing is, you have to get that time. That's
Yeah.
the part. That's the tough part.
I know. It is tough. So we want to brown this garlic, but you don't want to burn the garlic, you know? So maybe when I feel it's 3/4 of the way there, I'm going to throw the mushrooms in, toss them around, and just wing it on the shrimp. Maybe when the mushrooms are halfway there, we'll try the shrimp, and hopefully in that time I won't have scorched the garlic.
Okay.
We'll try it, okay? All right, this garlic is getting nice and lightly browned here. Maybe a little bit more. I'm just taking a while with this because I'm afraid. See how those big bubblers are happening?
Mm-hmm.
It's giving me every indication this is kind of coming together into something or other. So I guess it's time to toss the berries in. I could have picked those other berries out, but you know, it's not like they're inedible. So, all right, so we're going to bring these along slowly and just keep stirring them.
Well, the garlic's coming along.
Yeah, I think our garlic is looking right about there, wouldn't you
Pretty
say?
nice, yep.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just put it on this plate over here. And this way we can be a little more brutal with the mushrooms and the shrimp, the camarones. All right, so we'll torque the flame up a little bit. See what happens. Yeah, the mushrooms, they won't, you know, but what's good about the mushrooms is that you can eat them raw, so I guess if I'm not sure, I'll throw the shrimp in a smidge earlier. So you want a little bite to them, you just don't want them mushed out. At least that's the way I feel about it. Although, I got to tell you, I've had people that want their vegetables, pasta, and everything else, like, what do they call it, mushad. They just want it mushy. I mean, do whatever floats your boat, but I like a little bite, a little al dente.
I like that too.
Yeah, this is a little more oil, I guess, as you can see, than we're probably going to need. It does cook off a little, but I think we're going to probably have to strain a little bit of that out. I love these mushrooms. They're so meaty, you know?
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, they'll absorb some of the oil, too.
Yeah, you can see that happening, right?
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
bit. So we'll check it out. You know, and then it's olive oil. Some people call it olive oil, and it's great. Another group calls it grease, you know, so can't please everybody. Very simple dish, you know. The garlic, the mushroom, and the shrimp is the whole show, you know. You know?
Very
Gonna add a little
flavorful,
salt and pepper to it, and that's gonna be it.
Wow.
So it looks like I think we did the right thing here.
Yeah,
I think
I
these the mushrooms won't be overcooked, and I think we're gonna hit these shrimp right where we want them. Excuse me 1 second.
The strawberries are bubbling away.
Yeah, bubbling a little more than I'd rather have them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we want to cook them evenly, you know, so we have to toss them around a little.
Okay.
And you know, I'm the type, if you're not sure with the shrimp, they're, you know, being a little underdone is not bad. You just don't want to rubberize them. As soon as I finish this dish, I'll add a little bit of that cornstarch and water to the berries, and then we'll figure out where we're going from there. All right, I think we're there. I think we're there. Now we have to just figure out how much of this oil we're going to retain. I'll put a little salt on it, a little pimienta, a little pepper. All right, I'll try to spoon these out. Where's our little plate? I guess I used it for something else, huh?
Oh, for the garlic, maybe.
Right. Should we add the garlic in? Yeah, I'll put the garlic now.
Add the garlic in.
Okay.
For a couple seconds.
Yeah, get it back to where we wanted it. We'll put our little radicchio leaves here. Got a little salt and pepper. Put a little bit over there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. A little bit more over here. You know, I'm going to put a little of that oil right over it. Works with the bread. Let's balance everything a little bit here. This is nice. I bet this is going to taste real good.
Yeah, it does look good.
And I'm going to drizzle a little of the oil on it. Maybe a little bit on the plate. If you don't want it, don't eat it. But we won't put it all on. And I guess we could garnish this with a little parsley. I think another color in there would do this a little justice, right? Maybe a little around the outside.
Nice.
I got a couple of garnishes up here. Geez, these are trees.
Oh, those are nice and fresh.
Yeah, so we'll try a little of that.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's okay, right?
Great.
So there we are.
Okay, now I've been keeping my eyes on these strawberries.
Right.
Dan.
I realized I made a little bit of a boo-boo before. You really want to put, anytime you're going to, we're not going to use a lot of this cornstarch and water here, just enough to give it a little bit of syrup. But it's always best to put this stuff in when you have rapidly moving water. So before I dump the strawberries in, I should have probably put this in first and let them poach. And if I needed to, added a little more water at the end.
Okay.
But we are going to attempt to make this work. I'll turn it up a little. See, actually I can't do that. I can see I'm going to break these berries. I'll just put a very little in, just to tighten it up a little bit, because I don't want to risk overcooking the berries. So we'll just move this around very quickly.
Oh, the higher temperature will break the consistency
Right. Can you smell the berries?
Oh, yeah.
Right, as soon as you get that whiff, just like that, to me it's like the same as these vegetables. When are the vegetables done? If I'm cooking some broccoli or asparagus, the first time I can sense that good cooked flavor, that's when it's done, you know, regardless of what your fork tells you. So I'm going to cover these a smidge.
That's a good rule of thumb to go by, especially vegetables. You know, they're hard, and then they usually wind up like you said, being mush.
You know what I'm going to do? I'll pull these out again later. We'll show our viewers what we have going here. Again, I should have, you can see they're still pretty turgid, but this is very hot. And these are, what I did here today is what I don't want you to do at home, because you can see by the time the temperature of this juice gets to where you want it, you're going to have overcooked these berries. I stand a chance. We'll see how it goes. I'll put them in our refrigerator right now. But you have to you have to stop cooking these while they're still pretty hard, because this juice is very, very warm. Alrighty, I got a little salad we wanted to make. I told you I was messing around with a new salad, and here we have it. Yeah, you know, a lot of times you'll see a that tricolor type salad, and we just came up with a different one. We had some radicchio here. We had some arugula. I love arugula. This is the 8th wonder of the world. We've got some romaine. I have some Bermuda onion, some Parma cheese. This nifty neat balsamic vinaigrette that we've emulsified. We've creamed it. We put it in a blender. But these are very small arugula leaves, as you can see. I like them a little bigger than that, but we'll get the gist of what we're doing in just a moment or two. But what I like about the romaine, it tempers. These are both very bitter.
You're right.
And I think the romaine brings it back to more of our palates. You know, some people can really handle all of those crazy tastes and textures, But the romaine does a good job. I like the way the Bermuda onion gives it a little punch. The balsamic vinaigrette is, you know, just a good olive oil balsamic combination with a few different herbs. And this Parma cheese on top is wonderful stuff. This is really good Parmesan. And you hit it with a pepper mill if you're so inclined, and boy, I'll tell you, it's neat. We try to make this, if you're doing arugula at home, make sure that you don't do the, you know, some people in preparation for the meal, they'll be, you know, have dressed the salad the day before, for crying out loud. You want to dress arugula just before you're going to eat it. This stuff wilts, like forget about it. Just so we try to do that as close to my serving a salad as possible. So what I try to do is go mostly arugula on this. We go about a quarter of it radicchio and romaine. Got to really watch the radicchio too. You got to pull all the little leaves apart. So we got about a quarter each of those, and I'll put in. It's just the way I favor doing it. Mostly arugula here. So you can see it's about half of the salad is arugula, and a quarter on the others. I'll take some of this. Take some of this Bermuda onion and chop it up a little bit. I could put it in whole like this. I like it more petite. This stuff really gives off a great flavor, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think that's my favorite onion.
Really?
Yeah, the red onion.
I think that's enough. I gotta be much dominating with any one thing. In fact, that's more than enough. I'll cut it back a smidge. I'll leave that there. Okay, I guess we can toss in our little vinaigrette. You always want to underdress a salad just before you're going to serve the thing. You know, it's like salting a large container of something or other. You don't want to hit that exact. You got to miss it on the short side. Taste it one time and then hit it again. And if you were on the money the first time, you leave it. But that's the same thing with these salads. I feel like underdress them. You can see visually whether they're dry or not, and add a little more if you have to. So we underdress this. Again, I recommend tossing arugula and most salads just before you're going to eat them. Have the salad set up, but don't flip the dressing on it till everybody's about to get to the table. But you can see this is very dry. I'll have to add more.
Well, better less than more.
Yeah.
Can't go backwards.
That's it. And, you know, we want the leaves to do the talking, too. You know, it just doesn't have to be dressing. Yeah, baby. I like to call this salad Arugula and Friends. Arugula and Friends, yes. Put it in a bowl. I see the onions are stuck to the bottom here a little bit. Alrighty. Now we have some of that wonderful Parmesan cheese. Man, this stuff is great. Very, very pricey stuff, you know. I mean, you'll see this stuff in your local delicatessens, you know, going from anywhere from $9 to $12 a pound.
Wow.
So I'm just going to use a regular home type of cheese shaver. Get this stuff on the top. And there we have it.
Nice fragrance.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of zip to this. Okay, so I noticed that we just put the pan on.
Yeah, baby.
For the chops.
We got some lamb chops working.
And the caramelized onions. I was
spring lamb.
dreaming about those last night.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Those onions, I'll tell you.
I love them.
I know. I love, they're just a good thing. They're pain in the neck to cook. I've said that every time we've been on the show, but, you know, for the way they taste, it's just wonderful. Yeah, we've got these loin lamb chops, right? Those little spring lamb, right? It's springtime. We got the lamb going. It kills me that they have those New Zealand commercials all the time. Was it spring in New Zealand continually? Spring lamb, right?
Yeah,
it's like November 10th, right? Spring, sure. I know it's a little different down over there, but all right, we're going to start with a little oil in the pan. I'm going to finish this sauce with a little butter, so I had a little olive oil here and a little, I think that's a soy or vegetable type of oil. That's all I'm going to cook the lamb in. Why use the olive oil? I'm going to finish it with a little butter. Let the butter do the talking. We'll put these little lammaroos down like that. Going to season these on this side. A little salt, a little pepper, You know, if we turn an oven up very high, we can get a we can sear them in the pan and roast them. You know, but by and large, I do everything on the stove top. So you got to watch it. Yeah, you know, if you get something too thick, you can do it properly, but you really the margin of error is very slim when you try to do something very thick like this on a stove top. So rather.
And then this is just lightly seasoned, very simple, very.
Yeah, just a little salt and pepper, and I've got a sauce that I had made up before. This had a little garlic and red wine and rosemary in it.
What that was.
Yeah, so we're gonna ladle some of this sauce on there. It's kind of loose now, and we're gonna reduce it in the pan and finish it. Let me see how
I like that taste of rosemary with chops and heavier meat.
Yeah,
Nice.
That is great. Checking on these strawberries over here, Janet.
Oh, how are the strawberries doing?
They're doing okay.
They're probably cold by now.
No.
No?
Yeah, they're getting there. I just wanted to get the temperature down a little.
Okay.
I can see that, yeah, you can, they're still whole. There's a few that have cooked out a little bit, which I don't like. I try to cut them similar size, but there's still enough. You hear that noise level coming up in the pan here?
Yep.
That's starting to signal that it's browning, it's happening, okay? But yeah, there's a bunch of them that are still on the hard side.
Pretty good.
Right, but you've got to be very careful with this. And see, it's syruped out a little bit. It's a little bit syrupy. You don't want it like paste either. And you know, if you want it runny, you want it runny. But that little bit of cornstarch and water that I should have put in prior to the strawberries. But you've got to know when to chill these out. And if you're not sure, these are the sauce is gonna cook the strawberries a little more than you might think. So put the strawberries in the fridge or get them chilled so all the strawberries are on the hard side. All right, they're browning up.
Oh, they look good.
All right, I'm gonna season the other side also. Little algebra here. What you do to one side, do to the other. And they'll be done momentarily.
And when does your sauce go in?
We'll take the chops out. We'll take the chops out, we'll toss the oil out, and then we'll reduce a little sauce.
Okay.
Gotcha. I think we're approaching medium right here, so I guess it's time to finish the dish. I'll place these chopperoos out on the board. Toss the oil out.
Okay.
Got a little base in the bottom of the pan there. It's going to help our sauce.
Yeah.
Give a little depth of flavor to it. That'll all come up with the sauce. Guess that's enough. I'll turn the flame up. We'll reduce it. Meanwhile, while you weren't looking, I snuck a little asparagus and roasted potatoes in the oven.
I was going to say, when did you do that? I didn't notice you had anything in there.
That's right. All right, well, the sauce is reduced and we could plate the dish up. A little couple lambaroos here. Okay. Maybe we'll put the asparagus in between each. Maybe we could put the potatoes in the center like a little rock pile, right? All right, that's happening great. A little bit. And on top of each chop, we'll set a little of the caramelized onions.
Yeah.
I think that works okay with lamb. Look at me spilling it all over the place here. I've got a few pieces of butter on the plate here that are going to help tighten that sauce up.
Yeah, and I notice the sauce is reducing.
Yeah. You can see I got some big bubbles going. Maybe that's telling me it's time to get the butter in.
Okay.
This butter always shows up larger on camera. Okay, you can see that sauce is getting pretty tight there now. All right. So we're just going to wheel it around on the plate a little, just cover it, different little spots. go. Get it in between the chops, huh? Yeah, baby.
Pretty.
All right, maybe a little chopped scallion. I'll have a little more green show up. Go a little chopped scallion in there, and onions go pretty well with this. The green onions. And I've got a little paprika mix here. Maybe we can color the outside of the plate.
Oh,
just a little. Another color will drop in there, right? Again, we don't have a name for this dish. All I can say, it's not the worst lamb dish I've ever seen in my life. So there we go. Those little loin lamb chops, roasted potatoes, asparagus with that demi-glace accented with garlic, red wine, and rosemary.
Well, thank you for joining me in the dining room, out of the kitchen, and Dan is looking at me and saying, wrap it up, because I got to go play golf.
That's right, that's right. Got to get on the tee, right? No practice today. Forget it. So what do we have? Well, I tell you, I wouldn't mind sitting down to this meal here.
No,
I mean it.
I'm waiting.
A little strawberry action at the end of the meal. I mean, you could start with this little portobello and olive oil, garlic, and shrimp appetizer with the little radicchio leaves. And we could wheel it to Arugula and Friends, jump into a salad there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think we'd split this lamb dish here with the demi-glace, right? That's a nice one with the asparagus, roasted potatoes. We can work with that, right?
I like that.
Then we can do the strawberries with maybe some, you know, get the ice cream involved, right?
Sure.
A little pound cake or some other sort of angel food like you mentioned. And
a little lighter fare.
right, a couple espressos and sambuca, and away we go, right?
And we've got it. Okay, well, thank you for joining me again, ladies and gentlemen, on Cooking with Dan Luzzi. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Off, and we'll see you next week.